Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is Gameweek 21 Deadline Stream. My name is Hafiz, and I would like to welcome my co-host Azmin to the stream. How's your feeling, brother?
Uh, okay, a bit nervous this time around. A lot of last minute thinking and trying to see whether I want to do some last minute changes. But yeah, I think we need to talk it through and then we'll see how we go by the end of the stream.
Right. It's a bit strange that you're a bit nervous. Your position is still nice in terms of rank, and I think your team is well set up. But we'll take a look at your team later. But there's plenty of news coming in. We are looking forward to the team news and pressure definitely, because there's some key players injury that we are gonna take a look. We also had, in terms of a new manager coming in, Dave Moyes returned back to his old club, Everton. He is now the new manager of Everton FC Club. And what's your first reaction to that, man?
Well, it's good for Moyes. I guess in a way it's good for Everton. But it's a problem when they have to go back to the same person, So it's a sign of desperation and stagnation. Yeah, but I guess if right now if they want some stability, I guess Moyes is it.
All right. Before we jump into those team news, man, there's, in terms of FPL, we have some updates definitely. As we all know, Azmin did a special or video focusing on the assistant manager chip, and we can actually share with everyone that finally the assistant manager chip price has been revealed. We are expecting the last of manager having 1.5 million price, then 1 million and maybe 0.5 million. But the price is a bit strange in terms of how they do it. 1.5 million, we have like 4 or 5 managers there: Arteta, Maresca, Slot, Guardiola, and also Harry. Then on the other bracket is 1.1 million there. We can mention Iraola, Marco Silva, Nuno. After Forest's great run, they are in the top 3 right now. Postecoglou also rated at 1.1 million. And then there'll be 0.8 million bracket. And last but not least, 0.5 million bracket. I think the one that I tweet myself that when I first react to this is, I can say, Potter kind of like undervalued, and also Emery at 0.8 million. I think Emery should somewhere be, if not 1.1, 1.5 million. And that's my own reaction. So how about you, Min?
I thought that the price would be 0.5, 1.0, and 1.5.
Yeah.
So they did 4 tiers, and generally I'm okay with most of it. It's just I would wanted to see. I'm surprised Emery is quite low at 0.8. I would have thought, given how well he's done with Villa, I would have figured at least he'd be in the second tier. So yeah, but the other one is Maresca. But then Maresca and Slot both are fresh in the Premier League, so definitely the position has a lot to do with it. At the same time, I don't know if it's only just position. Why is it Nuno up there as well then? Because Forest are sitting there. Yeah. So that's I'm not sure what was I guess position years in the Premier League may have something to do with it. I don't know, because so but it is what it is. We just have to adapt and make sure we have the funds for it. At the end of the day, nothing more expensive than 1.5. Come on, guys. I mean, we can't really complain about these pricings. We should be able to handle it.
All right. I think that's at least our first thought. We are not going to dwell in terms this assistant manager chip. You can see the video that Azmin has been deliberating on that, and we're going to discuss further moving forward. Especially, we already know, man, another news pop up from the FPL news in terms of double game week 24 announcement, of which we can finally say that Liverpool and Everton matches has been postponed before this, going to park under game week 24. So Liverpool will play twice, but both are away, Bournemouth and Everton. But for Everton, they play Liverpool player, Liverpool manager slot, and also player. If let's say you're looking at triple captaincy and chip. So, this is what we have been waiting for, and this is where we're going to plan, right, Min?
Yep. I guess the only thing is Everton being under a new manager and Bournemouth under Iraola have been doing quite well. So originally, of course, the most excitement is delved around getting a triple captaincy for this delayed postponed match for the Liverpool Everton one. But I would have preferred it not to be paired with Bournemouth. So because that's not as easy as it looks. I mean, even this week, Chelsea versus Bournemouth, I feel that people continue to underestimate Bournemouth. So I don't know. I mean, this if the AM's chip seems like a better option if you're planning to use it on slot, because I just not sure about them scoring much and Salah scoring much in these two games. I'm just gonna discount Everton because at this point in time it's almost hard to say what they'll do here. We'll have to wait until David Moyes is bedded in before we can decide on it. So, if you are looking at it, then maybe it's a good idea to hold some transfers or ensure you have the funds ready. But 0.5 for David Moyes is very, very affordable, I think.
Yeah, I think there definitely 3 weeks or 4 weeks before David Moyes actually can show to us before we can decide whether it's worth jumping into those Everton players or even manager. But this is definitely the starting point of which we're going to start to plan and everyone, because now you have your chips, you have to plan. Double game week 24 could be the starts of how you're going to activate your chips, whether it's going to be triple captain, AM chip, not much on bench boost, but this is where the planning coming in, and I can see people already talk about what potentially the highest ceiling, the best chip that you're going to activate on this particular week. Game week 24, talking about blank game week 29 and double game week 33, and then definitely blank game week 34 and so on. So that's the announcement. Gladly it's announced early so then people can start planning. So let's take a look, man. The one that we're waiting for, game week 21 fixture. Before we jump into the team news, who's playing who this week, we definitely going to start off this tonight, of which the deadline will be at 2 a.m. Malaysian time, so it's like 2 hours away from our time. So Brentford versus Man City, we have Chelsea versus Bournemouth, and West Ham versus Fulham. All will be kick off at the same time. Not sure whether we're gonna have some team news or team leaks on this. If there is, then you definitely can think about all those teams, potentially these 6 teams looking at. And then a bit later, Forest versus Liverpool, the big one for this game week. It can easily, in terms of league placing, Liverpool on first place, Nottingham Forest at third place in the league right now. So pretty much the big one kick off tonight. And then we have Wednesday night, so called Everton versus Villa. David Moyes starts his first match in charge of Everton by entertaining Unai Emery at Goodison Park. We have then Leicester versus Palace. We also have Newcastle and Wolves. And then North London derby between Arsenal and Spurs. Arsenal knockout from the FA Cup competition against Manchester United, and Spurs barely advanced to the next round, winning against Frankfurt, right? And then on Thursday night, we have Ipswich versus Brighton, and then we have Manchester United versus Southampton, the Red Devils versus the Saints. So what interests you in terms of fixture for this week, man?
Oh, plenty. I mean, the first match, which is the City versus Brentford. I guess we don't, because it's we don't have to worry about the early match issue curse. I don't think that applies here. But yeah, I mean, with Brentford's current issues in the defense, with Ajay out, Pinnock out. I'm just worried about Brentford here in this run, because I think that City will definitely look to grab this one by the horns and continue the good run that they've been having so far. And for those who have Haaland, I kind of envy you, because I do think that he will haul in this fixture. Lots of interesting ones, but of course the Arsenal Spurs match, you can't resist that North London derby. And I'm not sure for those who've noticed that just Sol Campbell did an advertisement for Google
I
in
saw that.
terms of switching.
that.
So if anything, it's going to put a fire up Spurs players' asses to show them something. So it's just what a way to kick it off.
It's a naughty
Then
one.
of course Manchester United, Southampton. Manchester United fresh off amazing win again in the FA Cup against Arsenal. Of course, both because they were playing Premier League, both each other. They fielded very strong teams on both sides.
Yeah.
Of course, and Arsenal, despite being up one man for quite a long time, ended up going to extra time, and in the end, Manchester United won. So it's great for United. They play Southampton next, and you'd expect them to continue the good run. Arsenal, and they have an extra day to rest, unlike Arsenal. So Arsenal, they're gonna be, they have to lift themselves up after that demoralizing defeat against Manchester United. Spurs will be looking at that and licking their lips. Oh, have I lost? Testing.
Sorry, Min. I got some network issue, but it should be okay. I'm on my phone line right now. Is everything okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I was just checking it on YouTube to see, and posting a message saying that we have experiencing technical issues. So are we back online then?
Min, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Hello.
Can you hear me? Okay, but not so great, right?
You are very clear. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, man?
Okay, all right. Yep. Good. Okay, we can continue.
Hello, man.
Hello.
Sorry, my line have issue tonight. Okay, but
Okay.
the show must go on. So, man, let's jump to the team news, man. We start off with
Yep.
Brentford versus Man City, man. There's also some interest from Man City assets. So, what's the latest news?
Sorry, with regards to Rico Henry available. So Rico Henry started in the FA Cup match, but I doubt he's going to, even though he's available, he's been gone for so long. So I don't think they're going to jump in against a match against City, no less. A bridge too far for that. But for Ben Mee, he was out for a few weeks, I guess, so he should be available, and he will probably come right in because they kind of need him. With Pinnock also out, so Ayer's still out as well. So that's on the Brentford side. On City side, it doesn't look like there's any changes. You expect to say the same team from the last time they had the Premier League game. So other than that, that should be it. So expect KDB, Foden, Savinho, and Haaland, of course. Yeah, because we saw the Doku, for example, he started and did well in the FA Cup match, so he's unlikely to start for this one. Similarly for McAtee, who did really well in the FA Cup match, but I don't think he's going to displace Foden yet at this point in time, because I think that's something that people are a bit worried about.
Right, great. I think if you have the likes of Mbomo, which particularly most people have, I think you just play him in this match because Man City could concede goals in this game. And if you have the like of Haaland, Foden, to an extent Guardiola, I think you just play them in this game because despite Brentford good record at home, they prove they are not susceptible to in terms of getting result because Forest can win at their ground. So we just play those players, right, man?
Yep, that's right.
Next team news, man. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Particularly, there's a big news in terms of injury on the Bournemouth side, especially on the attacking side. So what's the latest news?
Right. So for Bournemouth, I just go with Bournemouth first because I feel there's more important stuff, which is firstly, Kepa can't play. So Mark Travers will come in. Evan Nilsson is out for a long time and Unai is out for the season. So that is a big blow for Bournemouth. Having said that, I kind of think Areola will still be able to do well. Utara could play in front there, for example, or Semenyo could play up front. So Ryan Christie is back. So for on the Chelsea side, there was a huge rotation during the FA Cup, but the only thing is Madueke coming back from illness, he didn't play. You expect him to slot right in, but then he is recovering for illness, so I don't know whether he'll start or come in as a sub. I'm not going to worry about Reece James because, although he played 45 minutes, I doubt they're going to throw him into this match. Romeo Lavia, of course, his injury term was shorter, but I'm curious to know when Lavia will start. He's ready to start. It does change Chelsea structures a bit if Lavia starts together with Caicedo. Yeah, so then it does. Then the question marks on whether Enzo will start, or they have to shift around in different roles. I'm sorry, I seem to be getting a notification sound. I don't know where it's coming from, even though I've got everything switched off. So never mind. We just carry on. I'll just see what's causing all that. Never mind. Carry on.
All right, Min. Great news. Especially, I think the Bournemouth attacking player. I think that's they are lacking in terms of striker. They call up Davison, right? Recall from loan just to fill out this vacancy in terms of Evanescence and Una. At the same time, both injured during training, if I'm right. So unfortunate event for Bournemouth. But this could be an opportunity for Chelsea, but we just know because Chelsea has not won in 4 games. So, and if Bournemouth win this game, they will equal same point with Chelsea and tied. Because Chelsea at 4th place right now and Bournemouth at 7th place. It's really tight. So both teams are really decent in terms of league position, and this could end up 1-1 draw or a draw between these.
Exactly. So I mean, this is the point I wanted to make, that in the return leg, Bournemouth lost, but they only lost 1. But they still only lost, even though Kepa wasn't around, but they still only lost 1-0. So I think we need to pay Bournemouth a bit more respect in that sense. So obviously Chelsea are playing home, so the advantage is there. But still, I'm looking at social media. It seems that it's a bit too, obviously Liverpool play Forest because this comes back to the captaincy issue. So Forest, of course, have great defense, but Bournemouth have a good defense as well.
Yeah. Okay, next game in. First game in charge, at least Premier League wise for West Ham, Graham Potter will be on the dugout, but against Fulham, who has been in a mixed form right now, but Fulham still decent at 9th place. So what's the latest for both teams?
So Fulham are on a decent run of form, actually, so they're doing quite well. For Fulham, of course, Tete, the news came out that he would be available until maybe March. So this is good news for those of you who move for Castagna, because it pretty much confirms he's going to be there as an option, a cheap budget option and a good team. So other than that, Muniz is a doubt. So yeah, he'll be available, but let's face it, I think Raul Jimenez has pretty much secured his starting lineup. It's gonna take a huge drop in Fulham's form for Raul to be shifted out from his starting lineup spot. Okay, so West Ham. So West Ham is a big thing because with Graham Potter coming in to manage the team, but he came out. He could have come out in at the worst time because previously Bowen was ruled out. Now Fulkrug, the summer signing, is also out, so it's leaving them short. I think so. It looks like Kudus is going to be the go-to person because look, even Somerville and the attack is also touch and go. Yeah, so a lot of heavy reliance on Kudus is going to be likely. So yeah, that's it for the West. Of course, Antonio is still out after that accident that he had. This is it's a London match, but not quite a London derby because they both, West Ham are in the east side and Fulham a bit more central. They don't have that same level of rivalry, but it should be a good match and a good start for Graham Potter to put down his credentials. Although to be fair, his first match was the FA Cup in which they lost, whereas Fulham did win theirs.
What do you mean? Can Graham Potter grab his first win in front of their own crowd against Fulham? What's the prospect?
I think it's going to be a bit too much for it. Not for this one. Fulham are good, and unfortunately, one of West Ham's problem is still they lack a lot of pace and solidity in the midfield, which I feel Fulham will overwhelm them. Yeah, but I think Graham Potter can change things around, but he needs a bit more time.
He needs time. Okay, definitely. If you're one of Raul Jimenez owner, You already got that 2 goals last week and 13 points. So you've been hopeful that he's going to return again away to West Ham. And he's definitely the man. He's definitely on penalty kick, after that last week against Ipswich, who actually scored 2 goals from penalty spot. Yeah,
I think at his price, it's amazing, pick now because now that he secured the penalties, a bit like Juan Pedro.
All right, we go to the next match, the big one, especially in terms of league title, if I may say, because that's what people are narrative right now. Forest versus Liverpool, man. And what's the latest news, especially on Liverpool players?
So for this news, there really isn't much. Forest, there is no issues at all, so not a problem. For Liverpool, we know that Nunes is suspended. The good news, of course, for Liverpool is that Konate has got more time to recover, and he should be back as well. So it's really looking good for Liverpool. Especially now that Gomez is out. So we also got Bradley returning as well. So it's looking good with Robertson given a rest. So they all should be all good to go. Gravenberg as well, who was an issue previously. So for this one, of course, it's still halfway through the transfer window. A lot of noise on TAA, but I have no issues with him. I think that he will start this one. He started the FA Cup match with a lot of youngsters, and I think there's a bit of a concern there. I don't think there's any concern because he was substituted out quite early, just to make sure that he's match fit. There's that early substitution tells you all you need to know. He will start this midweek, and he will start this weekend as well. So it's not an issue for me unless injury happens.
Amazing how people can turn around in terms of TA, especially he scored that 15 points that last week, blank 0 point, and suddenly people are looking at moving him away. So it's a bit funny one. You just need to be. I do feel TA is a permanent fixture for Liverpool team unless there's some injury for the player, but that's my feeling, and the fixture is coming better after this, especially. But we just never know against Forest. Despite Forest is the only team who defeated Liverpool this season, right?
Yes.
So
yeah, that should be a good one to watch.
Yeah,
if you can.
So yeah, it's at 4 a.m. I think not Forest and Nunes received his 5th yellow card before the cut-off, so-called, and he will be suspended for this game. But should be no issue. Jota, Gakpo, and Diaz definitely are ready to come in for him. Next game in Everton versus Villa. First in charge for David Moyes. I do believe Unai Emery actually defeated Graham Potter, first in charge. Can he emulate that result again? We are not sure. But what's the latest news for both teams?
Right. So for Everton, DCL is fit and trained today. Yay! I'm sure everyone's rejoicing about that. But sorry, apologies for the sarcasm. McNeil is still out, and with McNeil still out, that's it's just not doing. It will not help Everton. So Villa, you got Duran returning from suspension together with Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers slots in immediately into the starting lineup, not an issue. Duran back, however, is going to hurt those of us who still have Watkins. Watkins will probably still start. I don't think Duran will immediately replace him, but it does mean we've seen Duran start instead of Watkins before, and that's going to be a risk that's going to be ongoing for now. So the only thing is the FA Cup, because they did play West Ham in the FA Cup match, and Martinez didn't play, so he should be back apparently. So not an issue there either.
All right, Chelsea, the first lineup for the Moyes team, and then we can think of, because they have double game week 24 coming up to feature, and if they say they can perform, and for the next 2-3 weeks, then all eyes on Everton players, or even that Moyes could be one of potential um, manager you can come in for AM chip if you feel he's the right choice. Everton versus Villa. Let's go to the next one, which is Leicester versus Palace. Leicester are desperately need 4 point because they are currently resides in the bottom two, and while Crystal Palace at the 15th place, but it's definitely like 6-7 points gap there. So what's the latest news for both teams?
No issue with Leicester except for Vestergaard being ready. But for Crystal Palace side, because the biggest issue was this illness problem that came up. I don't know, nothing specific. Insider, I was scouring the forums. It looks like it was just a flu, quite a serious flu, but not to that level of COVID influenza type of levels. Yeah, so the ones listed are the ones who all were rumored to have come down with the sickness, but they're all back now, so they should all be fine. I do feel this again. This is another match where Crystal Palace are looking really, really better now. Should be able to defeat Leicester easily. I think unless Leicester need to do something in this transfer window, otherwise that's it, right? You can say copy go bye-bye.
Right. When I read this illness outbreak, definitely if let's say we have the likes of Palace player like Munoz, Eze, even up to Mateta, maybe there's some worry, but here the clear that they should all be available, but definitely there's some risk there if they say your players are not playing for this week. We will not be surprised if one of those players are not turning up for this game, right?
Yeah.
Next game, man. Newcastle versus Wolves, particularly for Newcastle player, especially people talking about Isaac, whether he's ready or not. So, what Eddie Howe has been mentioning about his player, man.
Right. So Newcastle is about Isaac. So Isaac missed the FA Cup game presumably with some sort of injury. So that's a very Ahmad Zafi, thanks for the question. Is that on? I think he's on. Eddie Howe does have a history of conning us in terms of past releases. I did look around the forums to see whether there's any pictures or any leaks of training, but they managed to hide that away. The only problem is Harvey Barnes looks like he'll be out for more than 2 months now. So that's gonna hurt, meaning that Newcastle, if Murphy or Gordon have issues, then they're gonna start having problems overall. Pope's still not ready, but Dubravka has been doing well for them, so no issue. Wolves' big problem now. Good news. Cunha is back, and they're gonna need him. Creativity, both in terms of creativity and goal scoring, because we saw what happened with Strand Larsen the last time around. So the good news is Semedo is fit and Dawson is fit. Although I'm not sure whether both will immediately come to a start. Wolves have bought a centre back, Agbado or something. Yeah, sorry, don't know his name, right name yet. But the point is that they know what they need to fix, and that centre back issue is one of the big problems that they have. So yeah, I'm tipping. It's not going to be so easy for Newcastle this one. I feel. I think the new under the new manager plus the return of Cunha is going to help Wolves. And I fancy at least a score draw for this game.
Right, Cunha is back. Is good news for Wolves team, especially. You still have him, if I'm right. Later we take a look at your team. But with this, I said, or Eddie Howe mentioning about I said not yet training and so on. Newcastle will play tomorrow, not tonight. So there will be one more, I don't know, session or that they can assess it. But the feeling is he's going to start. What do you think, man?
I think he's going to start, but I'm I don't think he'll play full 90 minutes, which is a reason why I'm a bit loath to captain him, because in game week 22 they get the early morning the Saturday morning match kickoff. Yeah, so they need to be cautious with that one. So that's why I think that they're gonna pull him off if they are winning comfortably.
There's plenty question about who's the best captaincy. Later we take a look at some prediction odds, what's the market is saying. What else team news that we have? I think we have a couple more. Let's see. Arsenal versus Spurs, the North London derby that we mentioned, and then some important news in terms of injury for Arsenal, except in the form of Gabriel Jesus. So what's the latest news?
Well, Arsenal, obviously Jesus is out. Calafiori will be assessed, and of course, Saka's not mentioned here, but for sure he's out for quite a while. So the only issue is that during the FA Cup tie, also Jorginho and Timber both have cramp, but I don't think there's any issues there lah. More problems with Spurs, with Timo Werner now getting injured in the FA Cup tie. So yet another guy hits the dust. Richarlison back is going to help actually. And for those of you who have Solanke, remember the last time Richarlison turned up, Solanke hauled. So I do feel that, and I maintain my what I said before for justifying not picking out Solanke. I felt that as long as Richarlison's not there, I don't think Solanke is going to do much. And yeah, he hasn't done much. I can't remember the name of the keeper that was brought in. What's his name?
Kinky.
But okay, yeah. So I think he's a great keeper. I mean, he's done well so far. Early, it's still a small sample, of course, but I think they did well to bring
Kinski
in. Yeah, and it's going to be another battered back line again.
Okay, I think it was reported that Jesus could potentially be out for a while. They are predicting it's an ACL injury, but Arteta did mention in his presser that we need to wait because he's looking at second opinion specialists to see what's the severity of Jesus' injury. Then after that, maybe the last be working. But he expected he's going to be out for a while, and looks like Arsenal team some sort of like depleted. And from the FA Cup, we know two players. I did research. Odegaard and also Martinelli played the whole 120 minutes, and that could potentially a worry, a rotation risk, if let's say. But they are down with players, so I'm not sure.
The good thing, of course. The good thing is, of course, that they are playing the later match. They're not playing tonight, so they have a bit more time to rest. But still, it's gonna hurt. I think I do expect Spurs to score.
Yeah. Can you imagine, this is midweek. Then during the weekend we'll play another game, so their recovery time is not that great. So there is potentially people are not playing 90 minutes. That's all I can say. But if let's say you're one of the Trossard owner, I think you're more comfortable because Trossard, he came on later in that game and he should start this game against Spurs. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Ipswich versus Brighton. Another potential injury, talking about Brighton segment in the form of João Pedro. So what's the latest news?
So the only thing with Ipswich is that Modric will be out for a while, but I don't think that's a big issue for them. Ipswich, of course, they are definitely capable of causing upset. So they're the best promoted club so far, based on what we've seen. Brighton. So João Pedro, apparently he had a scan, and apparently it's okay. Pedro himself did in some social media posts saying that he had a scan and claiming that he was okay, but we don't know. Of course, that's players can say what they want. But the good thing, of course, there is some extra time. for him to recover. And the thing is, based on what Herzeler said, that he has not trained. So he will only train today and they will look and see. So the fact, because he hasn't trained yet and he's only training today, plus the fact that he had that scan and only then they decided, I'm a bit hesitant about him. And even if he does start, he will definitely be pulled off early to take care of him. Other than that,
from bench, there's another potential scenario.
Which is a bit of a worry. But the good thing for him is that Welbeck is back. Although, again, I'm not sure whether Welbeck will start yet, but at least he'll be on the bench. Dunk is back just in time, because with Ego out, Dunk will slot in immediately. The other problem is Ruta and Minte both picking up injuries during the FA Cup. And Ruta did well. I think he scored 2 goals, but I believe that Ruta is out for this one. Yeah, so the other people he should work with Ferguson all not going to be ready. Ferguson, as some people of you may know, he's been subject to some transfer questions, but we'll see. I think he'll probably end up going towards the end of the transfer window. Yeah, as people try to negotiate.
My feeling, if I have João Pedro, I might bench him if you can afford him and play somewhere else. But or if you do not have any option, then you just try your luck. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the risk of him on the bench and coming on when they need a win, because Ipswich are not pushovers, are no longer pushovers. They have found their way and style. So yeah. One more.
Right. Last team news. Manchester United versus Southampton. Looks like there's nobody giving hope for Southampton getting any results. And also at the same time, Manchester are really on fine form right now, especially after their win against Arsenal in the FA Cup third round match. So what's the latest news?
So we do know that Dalot got himself suspended in that match against Arsenal. He got sent off. Another silly way to get a sent off. I won't go into that. You can check out highlights from there if you like. Diallo was a substitute, but he came in. So the fact that he did come in to play as a substitute tells me that he should be fine. So no issues there. Plus, they still have a bit more time. They have, this is pretty much the last match before, so they have time to recover. One more day more than Arsenal, actually. So that's a good thing for Manchester United. For Southampton, very importantly, Matheus Fernandes, who back from suspension, so you'll slot back immediately into that midfield. And that's it for Southampton. So obviously, a lot of us are, of those of you who have Manchester United assets will fancy the chances. Southampton are still the whipping boys at the moment, I guess. And let's see if Zurich can do anything. But at the moment, it's not looking good for Southampton.
So you have Bruno Fernandes, you have Ahmad. Definitely you're licking your lips and you're going to play DM and hope for a big points from this game. Right? I think Southampton did lost last previous match anyway. So doesn't look good in terms of Southampton prospect. And I do believe Manchester are going to win this game. And Ahmad could be in the mix, man. So you have him. So should be good. Top transfer for this game week 21, who's in demand right now? Mr. Gordon. Anthony Gordon from Newcastle is the most transferred in so far. The numbers are creeping up. This is like half an hour before we live, 628,000, but already reaching to 659,000 new owners for Anthony Gordon. We also have Hall from Newcastle, and also I said in the top 5 transfer in for this week. Well, nice. I think Newcastle have some, at least for the next one, they have some nice switcher coming up. 450,000 already brought him in. Then Raul, after that, 2 goals and 13 points. So he's in demand right now. He's still cheap, maybe cheaper than João Pedro right now. And we have Ahmad there, man. After, I think he scored last week, right? So and also a nice entry point against Southampton this week. Top transfer out for this week, no surprise, I think. Nicholas Jackson, I think he's already playing for the past 3-4 game weeks. He also did not start again. I think he switched, right? So it doesn't look good. I am one of the owner. I'm also feeling itchy to get him out, but we shall see my team how. Like Jesus injury pan out 387,000 media already opt him out. Luis Diaz losing patient. Yep, I think another 1 pointer last week. Madison and then Enzo at 5.1 million dropping to 5 million price tag right now. Almost 200,000 media already brought him out. So what is your thought in terms of transfer in and out for 21?
I think that the mass wave of Newcastle transfers is a bit dangerous. I know you want to capitalize, but having too many is a problem. But Newcastle's fixtures don't look great. After this one against Wolves, then they play Bournemouth, and after that, okay,
They have Southampton and Fulham.
They do have play Southampton after that, but then they play Fulham. And there's a concern that, of course, it's still early at this point in time, but it's also that if you are looking to, there's a possibility they may blank later. Let's say if they win the EFL Cup tie, So it's a bit of caution. I know it's still early, but we do need to plan. But for this week, a lot of it depends on Isaac, But of course, I think that Isaac is fit, lah. So it should be fine. Raul and Ahmad, of course, both of them did well in the last Premier League game. So Ahmad also scored and Raul scored too. On the transfers out, no real surprise. I guess it's interesting to see two Chelsea players there. People are finally losing patience. There's still a lot with this Chelsea, and I kept hearing, you should keep one more. They play Bournemouth and who's the other?
I think Wolves
next. Yeah, but again, a bit of underestimation with where Bournemouth is concerned. I don't think they're gonna be that easy, even though they don't have Kepa. Diaz, I'm not surprised that people lost because he was substituted out before 60 minutes last week. I'm not concerned. The thing is, that's the risk. I knew this risk coming in when I picked up Diaz, so for me it's not an issue. He didn't play in the FA Cup tie, and I expect him to start this one. But of course, the other problem with Diaz is that Liverpool have a tough matchup in theory against Forest, so maybe that's also a reason why people want safer picks.
All right, that's the top transfer for Gameweek 21. If you're thinking about Gordon, get him in because that's what people are doing right now. And his price keep creeping up, man. I still remember 2-3 weeks back when his price still at 7.2. He's already at 7.6 million right now. So 0.4 million increase for the past 2-3 weeks. And I cannot afford him in one move. That's another thing. Right.
That's all right.
All right, man. Quickly on the suspension, you already touched about Darwin Núñez being suspended this week, and those are the players are returning this week. Jurgen Timber back from suspension. Morgan Rogers, we already touched. John Duran, Shah, definitely with Botman and Burn right now, so there'll be some competition there. If let's say these people are returning, then Hall, please, somehow they could come into threat back because Burn usually play on the left side, right? Overall, so interesting to see this. Okay. And Bruno Fernandes returned from suspension, also Bentancur, and also the big one, Matheus Cunha, back into Wolves team. In terms of suspension tightrope, now the threshold will be at 10 yellow cards before you'll be suspended with 2 games. Not really anyone here that people are looking at, but summary is at a yellow cards there from Leicester, and maybe with the next one, if you want someone have Howard Bellis, he's on 7, and then maybe Joe Linton, but other than that, I don't think people are looking at those players.
Yeah, it's just Howard Bellis as the bench player that you would like to have. So other than that, it's fine. For the Shah bit, yeah, Shah comes in together with Burn plays at centre back and Hall stays on the left. So it'll be Botman who'll be the one to be sacrificed, I guess, because he just come back. Yeah, but yeah, I can see them sticking because they've been winning, so I don't see a reason for them to really change.
Okay.
But yep, let's see.
All right, man. Let's look at the market saying in terms of odds, result, projected goals and clean sheet this week, of which I can say that, tengok muka Ahmad is there. Arsenal, Manchester United and Newcastle all tied up top 3 to score highest this week, 2.55 predicted. Then after that, maybe 2.35 Man City, and then to an extent, Chelsea at 2.20 goals. In terms of clean sheet, Manchester United again, top 44% chance to keeping clean sheet against woeful Southampton. Maybe there is some truth in terms of that. And Arsenal and Newcastle next, tied up at 36%. So if you have those defenders, they're pretty much potentially keeping clean sheet this game week. So again, data from Spreadex and graphic from Rob T FPL. So that's the projected goals and clean sheet odds this week. I mean, what do you think?
Okay, the Brighton game, I think 1.8 is a bit overestimating. I think there's going to be a tough match. Manchester United, definitely, I think is something that any Bruno holders have all been looking forward to. They were very happy to get returns against Liverpool last time out, but this is one match they definitely will want to see. I think the Arsenal rating is overrated as well. I think that Arsenal are going to find it tough when they don't have a good enough attack. Spurs have a great attack, so I thought the Spurs goals will definitely be higher. 1.03 is so undervalued, I think. So, yeah, I disagree with a lot of this. I could say. I think even Liverpool. I mean, Forest have been doing well, but I think Liverpool's attack should be strong enough. Away, the form away has been fantastic. So, definitely. Again, also Bournemouth. I think they're underestimating that. 11% CS, I think is too low. Yeah. City Brentford, I think the City goals are right, but the Brentford goals should be more as well, because Brentford historically have caused City a problem in the past, and City aren't keeping clean sheets anyways this season. So yeah, lots of Spreadex data I don't agree with this time around.
There's a lot of questions in terms of captaincy for this week,
Yeah. Let's go.
Where I think like Brian here did mention, saya nak tanya captain paling pilihan anda, saya buat Haaland okay, and also Farhan did ask about captain Salah ke Isaac. Let's go to the next projected top scorer for this game week 21, Mr. Isaac and Haaland at the top with 0.81 predicted. Isaac is, and Haaland, they equal to them, and they should be on your radar. But we did mention about prospect that Isaac might not play the full 90 minutes. He's could be in terms of injury.
Yes.
We are not sure whether he's going to start or not, but if let's say if he's going to start. And then the next one is Palmer at home against Bournemouth. We have also Hodgson against Manchester United. Fernandes a bit down there. I'm a bit surprised. I thought Fernandes would be higher, at least more than Hodgson. Salah also in the top 5 in terms of top projected goal scorer. So looks like people are not going for Salah this week. Is it something wrong by doing that? What do you think?
No, it's just because they play Forest, who has one of the best defenses in the league, and Forest are third place in the league at the moment. So obviously there's a lot of concern there, and I don't blame them. So Isaac, I'm not comfortable with Isaac's a good option, but I'm just really worried about the X minutes. And I do think Wolves will have that capacity to improve.
So
Haaland,
if
I totally
let's say, man, we are worried about Isaac minutes, so we might not want to captain Isaac. Who's next? Is it Palmer or Salah?
well, I'll just say that Haaland is the best option this week if you have him.
Okay, right.
But between Palmer and Salah, I would probably go for Salah. The reason is because although Chelsea are playing at home against Bournemouth, but okay, let's put the facts. Bournemouth, good defense. Forest, good defense. Okay, so that cancels each other out. Palmer playing at home, which is good. Salah playing away. Theoretically, it's not good, but Liverpool's away form has been quite strong recently. The other thing is then it boils down to the attack. Who has the better attack? At the moment, that's Liverpool, not Chelsea. So on that basis, I feel that Salah is still the better option.
Right.
In terms of goal scoring, I don't know what Hafiz is doing there, for the love of God. So yeah, never mind. Sorry.
So it looks like people are going Salah again unless you have Haaland, right? So I think that's the two options that people look at.
No, but the news, a lot of Twitter noise has been Palmer captaincy, I should say. Yeah, okay. So.
All right. So what would you be advise people? Unlikely we're going to advise Isaac, right? Looks like his minutes are still uncertain.
No.
So next will be Haaland, then Salah maybe. How about Bruno Fernandes prospect, mate? I think that's someone that underrated, right?
Yes, definitely. I think that Bruno is quite a good option as well against Southampton, or the worst team in the league at the moment. And Manchester United are in very good frame of mind at the moment. You know, after drawing against Liverpool and winning against Arsenal in the FA Cup. To be fair, they haven't had a good run of results before that, but you know, I expect them to pick it up. Definitely, it should be a whitewash for Southampton.
All right, we're almost reaching our 1 hour mark, man. Let's go to our team. My team first. I have 0.5 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. As you can see here, Cells in goals, TA, Gabriel, and Robinson. That's my lineup. I don't think I'm going to play Michael Greaves. I have Palmer, Salah, Martinelli, and Rogers. And then I have Isaac, Jackson, and Wood and Enzo on my bench. Sebenarnya I have my captaincy on Isaac before that injury. But now I need to think whether I'm going to still keep Isaac as my captaincy or not, or go back to my usual suspect in terms of Salah. I'm still have concern in terms of Martinelli prospect playing this or starting lineup because he plays 120 minutes. But people are unlikely to play Wood against Liverpool. So maybe the reasonable thing to do is bench Wood and play Enzo and Martinelli. What do you think, mate?
So this is a tough one because Martinelli, very exhausting game. It is how NLD though, the NLDB. So I would still probably play him.
Okay.
Wood doesn't have a good record against Pool. In fact, he's actually never scored against Liverpool. Although to be fair, with Forest he hasn't scored yet. But of course you have to consider Forest's good form. So, I mean, have you considered any transfers at the moment?
I'm rolling transfer. I think I'm gonna just use my squad and play this thing. And I have not been rolling transfer. I've been using transfer and taking hits. So I think I'm gonna take this opportunity, not to panic, not to think about any Crystal Palace asset of which that people are also thinking. I cannot afford Gordon, definitely. I cannot just simply swap Martinelli for Gordon because I need like 0.5 million more. So I think maybe just hold my transfer and then think about transfer for next week.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether you should find a way to fill Greaves. I do feel Ipswich has a decent chance of a clean sheet against Brighton. But then
Man.
it would have to be for Wood. So I can't see benching even.
Okay.
I don't know about Martinelli but there should be enough time. But I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, but
more
I will
more.
not be surprised if let's say Martinelli bench for that game. I don't think I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
surprised.
yeah. It's because Wood will definitely start. So worst case scenario, because Trossard came on, he didn't start, so it could be that Trossard starts instead of Martinelli.
Because if let's say Martinelli, then Sterling has a chance to start, and then this weekend Arsenal play who? So we cannot just simply think about this week. The weekend also have another game. So I think that's what will play in mind for
Yep.
Arteta.
Yep, that's right. So
So Arsenal gonna
so
play
if
Aston Villa. So another tough game.
yeah, so if you want to ask me, I would say bench Martinelli and play Greaves. Because
Well, I
Wood
have
will
few hours
definitely
to think. I have couple of hours
yeah,
to think about that.
couple hours less than one. Yeah.
All right, let's go to your team, man. I believe you have 2 free transfer and 1 million in the bank.
Yep, that's right. So firstly, Sa, I've changed Sa to Cells for now. At the moment, I know that Cells will go against my triple Liverpool player, but I feel that the chances probably saves. I'm looking more at saves because both Sa and Cells are going to concede. So it's basically on who gets more saves. And at the moment, I'm thinking Cells will probably end up with more saves. Then Cunha goes back into the starting lineup at the expense of Alt Nouri. And Ahmad will come in probably at the expense of all three. Ahmad, Cunha, and Rogers will all come in at the expense of Pedro because of the uncertainty involved. Probably Robinson and Ait Nouri. Yeah, so Ait Nouri will be my first sub. I am trying to decide between Guardiola and Robinson for the sub bench.
Okay.
At the moment, I have Guardiola, but it could easily be Robinson because now that City are back in form, maybe Guardiola doesn't feel the need to bombard up and score goals anymore. So that's that's my line of thinking at the moment.
Are you thinking about rolling a transfer, man?
Yes, I'm thinking of it. I'm definitely looking at rolling transfer. Okay, let me tell you my thought pattern because earlier today I was already looking at bringing in Haaland because I do feel Haaland is the best captaincy option this week. Having said that, I really looked at it because it would force me to sell both Isaac and Palmer, and I feel that in terms of long term, there's a short term gain for Haaland, but I'm not willing to sacrifice the long term. So as a result, I've ditched that plan. So I'm looking at rolling.
Right, great stuff. I think your team is great. You have plenty of option whether you want to play 5 in defense, 2 up front, and so on. So you have plenty of options that I can see.
I kept Cunha. He better he better help me. I kept him through his ban. So yeah.
Who will be your captain, Min?
At the moment, it's still on Salah, and it's not likely to change. Yeah, unless I will go for Haaland.
Right, we will know the result because Palmer captaincy and Salah captaincy, we will know the result tonight. I mean, later, because there's no two way unless you're captaining Isaac, which you will only know your fate tomorrow. All right, before we go, man, let's take a look on FPL Jedi League. If you're interested to join our community, you can click in the league code PHMKJ3. We have a new team at the top right now, man, who actually entered this week. Last week, I suppose. Afi 2024, he is a Manchester United fan. He scored 72 points, total point 1345, and you can look at his team. Cells in goal, Gabriel, TA, and Robinson. He has John Timber, who suspended last week. He has Salah, Sa, Gordon, and Palmer. So Sa and Gordon, interesting one. he has Visa, man. 11 points last week. João Pedro and Isaac. Interesting thing, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the fact that Wissa is there, because Wissa, as a cheaper option to Mbuemo is coming in at the goods. And this week he gets Rogers back, so it'd be interesting to see what he does, who he benches.
Most probably João Pedro.
Maybe if just for the doubt alone, then yeah, maybe it's Pedro. Yeah, because that's what I'm doing.
And he could play Jordan Timber this game and bench Robinson, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the double Arsenal defense is the right way to go. I do think that Arsenal will concede in the Spurs derby.
Let's give shout out to the top 10 teams. Sukahati dropping to second, one Khairi. Abang F at third place. Our friend Afosz at fourth. Simpang Pulai FC. Sleepy Jedi a bit down, man, to sixth place, but still intact. 1306 and 1311. Only different like 5 points again, Afosz. So plenty time to catch up. Abu Loy at 7. Afan United. One of the top performer before this, Ashraf, and Panji Hitab and Panglima 11 in the top 10. Well done to everyone.
I think we've lost Hafiz. I'm not sure whether we've lost him, but I think when you lose him, the transmission goes as well. But if you are still
all right,
there, okay.
I mean, I'm here back, so let's wrap
Okay.
up. Hopefully, the network issue won't come in and disturb us again. So, what's your last word, man?
Good luck. I mentioned just now, it's quite a nervous week. I feel that there could be quite some swings depending on the captaincy. Yeah, I do think that both Palmer and Salah could either haul or could blank. So you need to get it right. The good thing is that we'll find out today. But for those with Isaac, we'll get another chance, because even City play today as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. It'll be a bit nervous. I'm nervous on especially on Thursday for the Thursday night matches, because I only have if things go correct, I will only have Ahmad. So for the last round of matches. But all the best. If for me the principle is the same. If you feel that you can roll, you should roll. Wait until and all the way until this weekend matches before you reassess and take a look, if you can.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining the stream. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube channel and do support us. Thank you again, and hope to see you in Gameweek 22 deadline stream. Bye-bye.